Hello everybody and welcome back to Amity Bloom. My name is Nazi and today I'm going to be sharing my journal collection that I have just finished, Magnolia Rose. This collection was inspired by obviously the name of Magnolia Rose, a combination of a rose and a magnolia together. The first collection will be shared today and the second part of the collection will be shared tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. All of these journals, the first collection and the second, will be available for sale at my Etsy shop this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So here are the paper cover journals for Magnolia Rose. I haven't really done a paper cover journal in so long. If you have been following me for a while, you know that this is how I started creating my journals, basically just a paper cover. So this collection obviously is very near and dear to my heart because they remind me of the first original journals that I ever created for Amity Bloom. So there are 4 journals, as you can see. They are very similar, but they are a little bit different. Starting off with these 2, as you can see, they have the same background paper, so the same paper cover. This beautiful wallpaper design is the same on all of the journals, and then these 2 journals are the same. All of them are very similar, however there are a couple of differences. I wanted to incorporate that beautiful floral wallpaper that you guys saw me use for my bullet journal, and I wanted to create this beautiful design in the center so you all will have a little bit of that wallpaper in your journals. I also created a little nameplate where you can put volume 1. If you remember, this is very similar to my personal journal and the style of the journals that I created in the beginning for Amity Bloom. All of the journals have a pocket in the front, and then opening it up, oh, so excited. I wanted to do something different, and when you open up the journal, I wanted to create a different type of pocket. The design is a beautiful damask and it feels so nice with the texture. And then here in the bottom it says Le Journal, and I created a cute little tag that you can write on, and it just fits and tucks right in there. So this is essentially my version of a book plate that you can put that this book belongs to and the date that you started the journal as well as when you finished, and that tucks perfectly right in here where it says Le Journal, and this is actually a vintage French stamp from my collection. And then in this pocket we have some magical goodness. I created basically a floating bookmark. For my Bloom journals a long time ago, I created some floating pockets that you can basically move around in your journal so that they're not adhered to a page. This is a floating bookmark that also serves as a beautiful pocket space. Here I created a lace flip out little pocket here, and of course a little tag so that you can journal. And then when you open it up, there is a beautiful embossed pocket here, some more ephemera, and then on the bottom there's another pocket and a handmade music tag on the bottom. So it's basically pocket galore with a little flip out, and it serves as a floating bookmark slash floating pocket. Let's say you were journaling on this page and you want to keep your place. You take your floating bookmark and you just put it onto your page and you close your journal and it sticks out so that you know where your place is in your journal. So I thought that this was so cute and a fun little way to include everything that I love, which is my little flip outs, my pockets, my floating pockets, and then obviously a little bookmark so that you can keep your place. And you can also keep your little paper scraps and your ephemera in the pockets that are included in the floating bookmark. So I really hope you guys like this. I thought this was so cute and a fun way to introduce a little bit more of a decorative element but still functional at the same time. So that is what's in all of the pockets. As you can see, that is what's in all of the front interior pockets. You all get the same exact floating bookmark. And then on this page, this is some gorgeous vintage old ledger. Paper clip to the front, I have some vintage ephemera, some cute little ephemera cards, and this is a little scrap of some wicked old paper that I got from the Scott's Antique Market a couple of weeks ago. And then this is actually a floating pocket. So it's a cute little floating pocket. You can journal on the back. And then I made a really pretty fabric tag with some beautiful vintage floral fabric. And obviously you can journal on the back. So I wanted to include ephemera that was both beautiful yet functional at the same time, that you can use to journal, that you can use to put pictures, and that obviously decorated your journal as well. So That's the first page. I made some ruffles on the side. I try to keep a lot of pages for writing because I know a lot of you like to have all of those pages that you can customize. And then this is something very exciting, which I actually filmed a tutorial for. This is one of my collaged paper borders, and it's very similar to my paper borders that I used for my floral tag journals, where I decorated the sides of my papers using scraps of paper. However, these are actually little text spots that you can put things in, so they serve as a decorative purpose, and they also serve as a little text spot. I did film a tutorial, so that will be up fairly soon. Some blank pages. On this page, I created a cute little file tab paper, and then I have some vintage ephemera and this cute little collage card that has a little miniature tiny floral flip out. So, so, so cute. This would be a perfect place to put a little picture and then journal about it. I love how you can take vintage items and use them in a modern way to document your pictures. And that's why I love creating my journals this way, is because I decorate them and I give them a style, but I still leave them blank for the opportunity for you to decorate them. So in this little pocket, I have some miniature tags and some vintage ephemera, some authentic ledger pages. All of the ledger that I include is always vintage. It comes from this really old ledger book that I have, just because I love the patina and the feel of vintage ledger. And then on this page, a beautiful floral tag. I actually have one. Let me see. This one. Oh my gosh, this one just melts my heart. So all of the journals have a different design for their floral tag. So all of the journals, like I said, have the same layout as you can see, but they are personalized in the sense that when it comes to the little fabric, you do get different little pieces and designs just so that it becomes even more special. So you have the beautiful floral tag that also serves as some journaling space and a floating postcard pocket with another little floral tag in there. And all of the floral tags are handmade and are used for both decorative and functional use at the same time. In the middle, of course, I had to include a beautiful fabric flip out, full length fabric flip out, decorative the top, and this is some gorgeous vintage fabric. As you can see, it has some roses, and all of them, just like with the tags, they have different designs on all of the fabric flip outs as well. Moving along, a lot of journaling space so that you can make it your own. Some beautiful little ruffles. I really loved the color palette. So soft, very soft muted colors. Here in this little pocket you have some vintage ephemera, really cute little rose postcard, and this really pretty textile tag with some vintage rose fabric. And on the back you have some space for journaling. So even though this isn't a textile journal, I made sure to incorporate some of my fabric tags in here as well. Some vintage recipe pages that you know I love including both as collage papers and as whole pages in my journals. Here is another one of my collage paper borders, and what's tucked in here is a little set of some vintage papers and a really cute little wallpaper tag. Using the same wallpaper that I used for the cover, and I just collaged some laces, and it's just so, so beautiful. I love this little bundle of vintage joy that just tucks into my collaged paper border. Some beautiful fabric tabs like you see in most of my textile journals. This is a cute little pocket that also serves as some journaling space. Every single space of this journal can be used for journaling and for pockets as well. And so that is the flip through for the paper cover journals for the Magnolia Rose collection. So these two have the music paper cover. They're pretty much identical except for the fact that they have different types of fabrics. For the tags and the ephemera sometimes is in different pockets as well. But these are pretty much the same. As for these two journals that are a little bit lighter and have this really pretty lined paper, kind of like a ledger paper, as the background, you still have that beautiful wallpaper design. It's actually textured, and this is also textured, so I can't wait for you to feel that. All of them have a front pocket and a little nameplate. And then when you open them up, of course, they are very, very similar. I love that you can see the numbers that are on the ledger. I think that's so cute. The same type of papers, the same type of paper collage borders. ephemera in the pockets, same types of pages, gorgeous fabric tags and floating pockets, fabric flip out in the center, vintage pages that are scanned so that you can journal on them and use them as pockets, my textile tags included in the pockets. Love these little paper borders. All of them get that gorgeous little vintage ephemera parcel. Some lace, of course, on the pockets. This is really wicked cool. This is actually some vintage paper, and it's from a family ancestry book. So as you can see, this is for the Anderson family, and it says Thomas Anderson and Frances Jones, and then they say Charles S. Sanderson was married to Betty, and Ethel Henderson was married to Lee Duggins. And hopefully, if any of you guys are from the Anderson family, or your Bethy, your Lee, your Ethel, let me know in the comments below. I think that would be so cool. But this was some vintage paper that I used to create the pockets. So not only do you get beautiful papers, but you also get some vintage history and a story in your journals that have history and meaning to them. And we alter them in a journal so that we can document our own life and our own memories and incorporating these beautiful vintage heirloom pieces. So this is quite spectacular. I am in love with these pages, and I have a nice full book of them, so they will definitely be in my future journals as well. So these are the two journals that have the ledger paper as the background, and then these are the two journals that have the music paper as the background. I really hope that you guys loved these paper journals for the Magnolia Rose collection. It really brought me back home, and it reminded me of like the passion and the excitement and the joy that I had when I first started creating journals for Amity Bloom, and basically where Amity Bloom began to bloom in the journal community. It's just such a euphoric feeling when people love what you create, and when you put so much love into something and then that love is received and given to you. It's a spectacular, amazing feeling that is addicting, and basically is the reason why I'm not going to stop. So that is it to the first part of the Magnolia Rose collection. All of these journals are paper covered. They are traveler's notebook size, and they are filled with so much love, so much vintage, eclectic beautifulness. So I really hope that you guys love and appreciate the paper cover journals for the Magnolia Rose collection as much as I do. Definitely stay tuned for tomorrow to see the textile journals that I created for the Magnolia Rose collection. And if your heart spoke to one of these journals and you want to have them in your journal collection, they will be up for sale and available this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love that I could share little pieces of vintage history with you all in such a fun and creative way. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you guys have an amazing day filled with peace and love. Bye-bye.